Bring a little light to the subject. What's going on? I'm actually live on YouTube, my Hall of Fame Bullies page, and I'm live on TV. And it was a picture of Mr. Beans getting iced down at the 2014 Nationals. And I got a bunch of shit. I got a bunch of shit, and I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to let them have it on this one because this is the real. I'm not telling y'all I'm the greatest dog man of all time, but I have put in work, been different places, talked to a lot of good dog people from different aspects, whether it was working dogs, show dogs, just obedience, genetic people. And I guess it became this thing that I was hating because for one, we talked about the dog having to have an ice pack on the dog. For two, I was really talking about his overall conformation that people still can't seem to get that the dog didn't have good conformation, doesn't have good conformation. He has an obvious high rear, sloped down back. His the way he travels is wrong. He's cow hawked. He has issues, man. But it's always considered to be some kind of hating when you speak the truth. Now I understand, and a friend of mine's talked about at these shows where people will try to cool off the dogs or keep them comfortable or whatever. And I mean, I don't have a big problem with it, but I will say this: these are dogs, and I can't speak for every other breed, but the American Bully I can speak for because of the role I played in developing the American Bully. I'll tell you this: what's going on, Tom? At no point in time should you have a handicapped ass dog that needs to be cooled off all the time. I live in Florida. Generally, the temperatures here are 90 degrees or above. Even in the hella winter, I call it the hella winter. But even in the hella winter here in Florida, our temperatures stay 75 and above. There go my partner, D. Navoa. Our dogs don't have special anything. Shade. That's all our dogs have. Shade and some water. They get out, they run around. They run around sometimes when it's 90 degrees and it's sun out there. I know Mandela and Castro specifically, and we have more that sunbathe. We have dogs that it is no problem as long as the concrete is not too hot. They will walk in 80 plus degree weather. They will jog in 80 plus degree weather. I had them out yesterday and it was 92 degrees and they shooting back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, playing with puppies. Did that for a half hour. Nobody needed a special attention to have a bath or ice on them or all of these things. And I tell you this, what point have we come to as a community that it is acceptable for our dogs to be some handicapped ass type of breed? What point has it gotten to that it's always a fucking excuse for every time these dogs can't cut it? Every time, I'm not going against the like I know everything about show dogs, but I'm telling you, I don't see where if you got some kind of dog that can't go into a damn building, you know. Well, that's another issue. And for those on YouTube, y'all can't see this screen, but my man Sean Stevens says when you put the dogs on steroids, that's a different topic, a topic that many people have made excuses for out of the year, throughout the years. But there's definite that Mr. Beans was on steroids. We could see it very evident. The dog didn't have any testicles. That's what happens when you shoot up. You know what I mean? But either way it goes, I've never seen where it would become acceptable that this is a seven. I was in Louisiana that day. It was cool enough that day that most of the members of my D-line group actually had their jackets on inside the building. The building was cool. Here we have a dog getting rubbed down with ice. Then I have people come on there and they say, oh, the stress and the music. And it was so stressful in the music and he had to go around the ring. And do y'all hear y'all fucking self? Do y'all hear yourself? Do y'all understand the stupidity that y'all are putting out into this universe right now? Oh my God. My American Bully that is supposed to derive from a pit bull, a staffy, and as we know, some other type of bull breeds that was mixed in there though. Warrior dogs, the hardest dogs in the face of the earth that we have ever seen. Pit bull. Even if we talk about an oldie bulldog, which we know have been mixed in there somewhere, even though it wasn't supposed to be. American Bulldog. But these are warrior dogs. And your dog, your bitch ass dog, couldn't walk around a ring in an air conditioned building, and the music just made it so sensitive that he needed the ice rub down. And y'all want to believe that this is acceptable for the way we breed our dogs. This is not what our dogs are supposed to be. This was not what our dogs were supposed to be. I mean, I mean, it's no excuse. It's no excuse. I don't care if you're in Poland, Holland, wherever. If your dogs are overheating on a normal basis, you have a bullshit dog. Why can't y'all understand this? These dogs are not supposed to be overheating all the fucking time. Y'all pardon my language, but it's frustrating to me on a daily basis to see people jump up and come out of their asses with excuses as to why these dogs are supposed to be unhealthy. A normal dog should be able to walk around at 70-degree temperature. Hey, love you, sis. My sister jump on here and make me say I love you in the middle of a rant. But but a normal dog should be able to walk and move around in an air-conditioned building, 70-degree temperatures, and not need an ice bath, not need an ice pack. These dogs are, I mean, let's be realistic. The pit bull itself was meant to be in action. This was an action dog. These dogs are supposed to be able to move and run, even your American bully. And some of y'all talk down to me like I don't know what an American bully is. Let me remind y'all, I was one of the guys who helped put the shit together. I know what the dog is supposed to be. The dog is not supposed to be some dog that can't move 5 or 6 feet without an ice bath. These dogs are not supposed to be overheating. For those who don't know, back in the day, and I'll say back in the day, and we only talking about 15 years ago, we didn't even have ice pools and shit for these dogs to overheat because it was so strange for the dogs to overheat. It was so strange for these dogs to overheat. We never needed ice packs. We never needed enemas. We never needed all of these weird ass things that we have to do now to worry about these dogs, fans, and this and that and the other. We didn't have all of that shit. You know why? Because the dogs were built to last. The dogs were built to be a true dog. These dogs were built and expected. What's going on, Mr. Garrett? And he can tell y'all just as well as I can. The American bully was not a weak ass dog that needed ice baths. You couldn't walk it. You couldn't do this with it. You couldn't do that with it. And the problem in our community right now, what's going on, Peter, is that every time one of these weak ass, high rear, screwed up dogs that can't function, don't have enough drive in them to even be walked around the show ring, and Mr. Beans is one of those that has to be drug around the show ring. Every time that happens, instead of us actually addressing the problem and saying that this is unacceptable, we dig deep up our asses and find a shitty excuse. This is why the breed is going down. This is why the breed is the shit breed now. This is why people laugh at the American bully around the world. I've been to what, 7 different countries now, and everywhere I go, when you talk to real dog people in real circles, not the fabricated dog circle that the ABKC made, they understand that why can't your dog run or move without assistance? Why do you need to bring in an ice truck to make sure that your dog can live to see tomorrow? The simple fact that you always have to cool this dog off, that doesn't strike y'all as a problem? Exactly, Randy. We would always be out there 75, no problem. The dogs is fine. It could be a nice sunny day, and you can't even take your dog to a fucking dog park. If your dog cannot exist inside of an air-conditioned building just walking around, this is a dog that you can't even take to a dog park. I know this for a fact. You take the dog to the dog park, he'd be dead right there under the sled. It's a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem. And the biggest problem is these registries and these so-called people who claim to be experts who are just kissing ass all the time that want to promote an unhealthy dog. Like I said, a good friend of mine let me know, and I understand that aspect, that when you deep and you intense into a show that, you know, certain handlers try to use things to keep them cool. It's just like a boxer or some shit. You know, they hit you with the little ice pack to keep you cool, but it's keeping you cool and comfortable, not necessity because you are about to die. There's a difference. There's a difference. More and more in our community, we have more excuses. We can't even be realistic with ourselves. We can't be truthful with ourselves. We have a problem, people. Dogs are dying left and right. The dogs that y'all still to this day right now are praising left and right, and y'all get so emotional about it. Yes, I know the dogs to choose to talk about. Trust me, I know the dogs that choose to talk about. That's why I talk about Dax. Y'all can't face the facts that Dax died a premature early death, and one of the main reasons why Dax is dead today is because he had a terrible cardiovascular system and probably a bad heart at the same time, which he passed on to his kids. But y'all can't face that fact. Y'all can't face the fact that some of Dax's prized offspring that was repping the hell out of things 6, 7 years ago are now somewhere in dirt or in ashes. I know that sounds insensitive, but this is truthfulness. When you are making a dog, you have to be aware of the problems that plague your breeds, the problems that plague everything that's going on. But we don't do that. It's excuses. And one of the ugliest excuses that I always see come out of you people's mouth is, well, this is why the dogs sell for so much. Right there in that one line when you talk about how much a dog sells for, and that's the value of the dog, and that's what it's about. You show me everything that I need to know about you as a dog person. You are here to make a profit, and you don't care about the health or the wellness of these dogs at all. You wouldn't give a shit if that dog died 3 days after you sold it, as long as you get the money that you were supposed to get. So you don't care. You make up excuses. Anybody who has a million excuses for Mr. Beans, the dog was a piece of shit. I'm telling you. I don't pick on the, believe it or not, the dog has my blood in it. It would be easy for me. Dak's been dead. Dak's been dead. I think Tori, he was Mr. Garrett, he was either 5 or 6 years old. Been dead. But that's a success story. A lot of his offspring been dead. Miyagi done died 6, 7 times. Came back with a tricoat. One time he had white feet, then he didn't have white feet. Went from being a 17-inch dog to a 12-inch dog. These dogs are not living. Yet and still we have excuses. Y'all go and check all the pictures of Miyagi and y'all tell me if that's the same dog. Y'all need to stop it. Now all of a sudden Miyagi always been a try. And that damn dog wasn't no try. That dog was blue. Dog ain't never had white feet. All of a sudden he got white feet. Dog went from 17 inches, came back reincarnated 13 inches. These the games y'all go along with in this community. And y'all sit back and y'all act like Sean said they bleached his feet. But this is the problem. This is the only reason today why I even have a registry is because of these type of problems. Exactly, Samantha Taylor. And it shouldn't be all about money. This thing shouldn't be all about money. This should be about health. Until we can produce muscular, big, healthy dogs, we don't have a chance. Exactly. I agree with you, Raphael. Until we hey Robert, you know Miyagi did change about 42 times. I got some pictures of Miyagi when he first hit the scene, and Miyagi was a lot bigger than that little guy that's sitting around in that Christmas coat. And he wasn't a try. And his feet changed. Y'all remember when they beat Ed Shepherd's ass up? Ed Shepherd was their guy. Last thing, hey, Ed Shepherd was trying to help, and Ed Shepherd jumped in on the conversation and said, "That's not Miyagi. I bred to Miyagi, and he never had white paws. Why y'all lying on Miyagi?" He didn't know that it was Miyagi's people that was telling a lie. They said, "Shut your ass up, Ed." This has turned into a circus. I can laugh about it in many ways, but it is sad. Yeah, Dax with the 3,000 offspring, with the bad hearts and the bad hips. And let me tell y'all something. And I've told y'all this 100 times. You know what I mean? I know every time somebody says something about Dax, everybody feels inclined to put up, well, look at this dog. He's nice. He's off of Dax. Well, look at this dog. He's 3 times Dax. I'm going to tell y'all like this. I've seen a lot of breedings done. I've seen Rottweilers bred to Dobermans and shit like that. I literally in that breeding where the Rottweiler was bred to the Doberman, it was one particular dog in there that you couldn't have told me that Rottweiler was his dad. He looked exactly like a Doberman. We've seen all kind of weird breedings happen to where the dog comes out with a certain look, and you entrust in this look. But I would tell exactly him, Mr. Garrett over here on Facebook said 3 times heart issues. You will see some success when you do your breedings. You will see some success. But remember, every issue that each parent has is in your dog, whether it presents itself or not. So put it this way: if your puppy comes out off of a mama with bad hips, right? Y'all follow me on this. If your puppy comes out off that mama with bad hips and he happens to have good hips, like his daddy, what's going on, Mark? Now, you got lucky if this is a pet. Now, if you're breeding, your puppy still has just a higher percentage of chance to throw bad hips as every one of his siblings that had bad hips. It's in his DNA. So if the dog that you picked to breed to your puppy that came out with the good hips from the bad hip mama happens to link up with another dog that had that bad hip gene, but just like him, didn't show it, they can compound that bad hip gene and throw a litter full of bad hip puppies. I've seen it happen before. I've seen people have disastrous results in a litter and it didn't show itself on the first generation, but with a little bit of studying, if they would have went back 2 or 3 generations, they would have seen where all of the issues come from. This shit is a science. And as long as we keep on putting bullshit in the pot, we will have bullshit dogs. If a dog shows any issues, it must be eliminated, especially physical issues like the cardiovascular, the structure issues. These things must be eliminated. This is just like the whatchamacallit, the game dogs. Game dogs are game dogs. Game dogs are game dogs. When game dogs were being bred, they were bred for a different purpose. But they never tried to accept a cur-ass game dog and put him into the loop. They never said, oh, this dog won't fight, so guess what? We're going to just go ahead and breed him in anyway. The genetics is what you breed a dog off of. Ours is the flip side of this. When you breeding for performance, you go directly off of how this dog is performing. That's why Schutzen dogs, you see their titles. It's Schutzen 1, 2, 3, Schutzen, and it's generations of Schutzen champions because their performance is telling how they should be bred. A Schutzen champion male should be bred to a Schutzen champion bitch, and their Schutzen puppies are going to want to bite the shit out of things. That's the way it typically works. In our realm here, where we're not physical. What's going on, Austin? We're not as physical. We have to go off of what we see. We're using our eyes. We're using our experience of how this dog is performing and behaving in a different manner. So if you're not using exactly, Peter, a strict criteria on what you are allowing to hit the streets and be bred and be off of your own stuff, not to mention what you're breeding, most importantly, in your own stuff, I tell you what, this shit's gonna go totally awry. There is no way to fix terrible genes. You eliminate them. You eliminate them over and over and over again. I see so many people say, and y'all quick to do this, well, if my American bully attacks a kid, I'm gonna kill him right now. You are correct. If your American bully attacks a kid, you should put the dog down. But why is it that the rules are so much different for everything else? Because see, that was a flaw. Although it had an ugly result that this American bully would bite a kid, that's the ultimate And I agree. I have kids. I agree with that 100%. Hey, you're right, Samantha. Everybody damn sure ain't no breeder. You know, it needs to be a lot more research. But if you're willing to jump and be super fast to put down a dog that bit a kid, and that is a flaw, that is a dangerous flaw, you should have the same morals when you see a dog that is having breathing issues. Why would you breed a dog with breathing issues? It's the same thing. You wouldn't breed an overly aggressive dog that would attacking a kid because you want family pets. Well, why would you breed a dog with an overly aggressive respiratory system? Don't you want dogs that can breathe? Why would you breed a dog that got bad hips? Don't you want a dog that can walk and live a normal life? Why would you breed a dog with a high rear saying that you want dogs with a level top line? Why would you do this? The only reason why we don't give a shit is because the money is too high and our ethics are too low. You know for a fact that when you breed these little screwed up dogs, you know this, you know you're not going to come up with a clean dog. But what you really, really want is that dollar. None of y'all are breeding for quality if you breeding this bullshit. None of y'all who want to argue with me about a Mr. Beans, you stop it. There was nothing good about Mr. Beans. He really didn't fit the American bully standard. I don't have a problem with the dog himself. Exactly, James. I don't have a problem. I didn't pick these dogs out because I don't like their owners. Tell you the truth, I don't even know Ed Shepherd that well. I know Ed a little bit, but I don't know Ed that well. Dax is just a piece of shit. I had to be real about this. I don't know Mr. Pratt's that well, but his dogs are very nice. I'm picking what I say about dogs simply based off of the fact that, guess what? This is good for our breed. This is good for our community. If y'all have noticed, I've talked about dogs having to be drugged, dogs that act overly shy in the ring, dogs that get nervous and take a shit in the ring. I don't think that those dogs should be bred into the gene pool either. They don't have basic confidence. You must remember, if a dog doesn't have basic confidence and can't perform in a decent setting, then check this out. What makes you think when that puppy has puppies that go to a home with people's kids, that that's not going to be the American bully that makes the news for attacking somebody's kids? But yet and still, y'all think it's all right for the dog to be drugged around the ring and hang his head and act real nervous around people. Now y'all and y'all and some of y'all say, "Oh no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that." Get the out of here, please, because y'all the same ones that's beating down the door to breed to dogs like Rocco, who we seen with Rocco. He doesn't. A lot of times Rocco acts like a scary bitch in the ring. He literally stops. Khan has to drag him and everything else. I don't want nothing like that. I want no skittish traits in my dogs. If my dog is acting super skittish all the time, you get your ass out of here. Especially when you're a trained show dog. Like if you a house dog, like Mandela's a house dog that never really sees people too much. So I wouldn't expect him to act like Denzel does when they go out in public. But one thing I can tell you is that, hey, little kids walk up to him, hug him, this, that, and the other. It's time to walk. He's going to walk. If he showed me any skittish behavior, his ass would have been snipped or gone. But you people, honestly, just like Andrea is saying over there, our community does not give a fuck about these dogs. Everything is about a trophy. Everything is about an award. And the trophies and the awards just allow you to bump the prices up on your dogs. You know, the funniest thing about this whole bully revolution is it's funny. The guy who started the thing, oh, oh yeah, yeah. Hey James, you know he's not an American bully. The funniest part though, that's what I'm saying. When it comes to Rocco, and and I'm gonna go in on, it's a lot of culling needed, Donnie. It's a not a lot of culling needed. But the funniest thing about Rocco, and this is something that I go toe to toe with the ABKC about, is I seen Dave jump on posts and talk shit about exotics just like me and the exotic community and how they behave. But the funniest part about Rocco is that his grandmother is an advertised exotic. She's an advertised exotic. A little white bitch about this wide, about this tall. She's an advertised exotic. They made him a nationals champion with a high rear, a kink tail, and really not the greatest attitude for show. What are you promoting? This is what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah, I still have Denzel. Denzel is actually doing all right, man. He's actually doing all right. He's still being nasty, so I guess he's feeling good, man. Just past his physical. Denzel getting old, but his semen is still good, and he's still trying to hump. So I guess at this point in life, A dog will be a dog, man. But ultimately, we really have to get back to health and structure. We really have to. I'm hoping that our community gets to the point where we do more hip testing, where we do more basic health tests to test the dog's cardiovascular system. You know, we need to really push what we're doing in our own yards. I know it's nice to brag about the best food that you feed and these things and that thing, but I know healthy dogs that are living off of pedigree. I know very nice healthy dogs that are living off of pedigree and doing nice. It is not what we feed them all the time as much as how we breed them. It is not, it is not how much you can sell them for as much as how great of a quality are we selling. This is the only thing that will take the American bully out of the basement. We don't have a true selling point to the rest of the world at this point. And when I say selling point, I'm not talking in the terms of monetary means. I'm talking about in the means of our dog being accepted. You know what I mean? As an American, I mean as a regular dog. Sometimes y'all see my eyes drift. This message is coming up there. But we have a long ways to go. And I'm gonna tell y'all the first place that we have to go is we have to take a long, hard look at what it is that we're breeding. There are bully dogs. I know what about bully and the dog's got to be bully and this and that and the other. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Mandela is just as bully as any dog y'all gonna find out there. He's over 100-pound dog, and he runs around and he has no problem with heat, and he does all right. Sometimes, I don't push it. Trust me, I don't push it, but I do what I can do. I do what I can do. Yeah, yeah, Rocco has a high rear and a kink tail. If you watch the videos of Rocco, somebody just tried to put up, oh man, somebody just tried to put up a video to make me, I guess they thought they was making me look stupid. It's a video of Rocco stacked, right? Pay attention to the video. It's two things that happen. These is old handlers tricks. See, some handlers don't have to learn these tricks because they have nice dogs. But do this to your dog and watch what he does. Now, Rocco, his handler will consistently grab him by the tail and tug at his tail. The reason that you pull on a dog's tail, see, when you truly stacking a dog, you'll lift him up from up under. You don't pull a dog up by his tail. That's just stupid. The reason why you pull at the tail is because it's a natural reaction for when you pull the tail for the dog to lower his rear. Dogs don't like having their tails pulled, so they squat down a little bit. You know what I mean? They squat down a little bit. It's a natural reaction. If you pull up on it, they gonna squat down. That's why you pull the tail. The knee and the side, it's a balance thing. It's a balance thing. So when you see them knee the dog or put that knee and nudge the dog on the side of the dog automatically lowers. Yeah. Don't tell them too much, Andrea. But that knee right there in the side of the belly, it makes the dog squat. It's uncomfortable for them. Think about when you get uncomfortable. Think about when that stomach get hurt and you squat a little too. I don't know nobody that when their stomach hurt a little bit, they stand totally upright. You squat a little too. That pressure on the stomach makes the dog lower itself. This is why you see this a lot. This is why you don't see this at real dog shows where handlers just handle that dog and let the dog be free and do their thing because it's a nice conformation dog. In our world, because we have so many train wrecks, our people have made themselves adept at finding ways to get the dog to contort its body to make it look better than what the dog actually is. This is why you see this. You know, then we went to the thing with the kink tail. They, for whatever reason, the ABKC took the kink tail away from being a DQ, which it was. Don't let them lie to you and tell you it was a DQ, just like a kink tail is a DQ anywhere else in the world. But what happened is then you could have a note. They would tell you to go to your vet, and your vet could give you a note and say that the dog's tail was broken, which was the most ridiculous thing ever. Because I'm wondering, if my dog breaks his leg and I have to chop it off, can I come in there and win a championship with a three-legged dog? I mean, where did the note stop at? Oh, my dog can't breathe today. Well, he had an injury to his lungs, so let's not make him walk. It was the stupidest shit ever, man. All of these things, I don't beat up on these dogs because I have something against the dog itself. I feel bad for these dogs, but I do have a serious problem with these type of dogs being heavily put into our gene pool. I could go on and tell y'all about the cleft palate issues, about the heart murmur issues that are coming from every dog that I named, and other issues. And then we always have to go back to the fact of when you start talking about the money, the this and that, and the this and the that, and please understand the mirage that we live in. I've asked y'all this question a million times, and I'll ask y'all this question again. We see certain breeders brag about themselves sending semen out every week. Oh, more people buying, more people buying studs, more people buying studs. Mr. Beans, the $1 million dog, the $1 million dog. Who are the offspring? Where's the legacy of these offspring? Why are these great dogs getting bred so much, but we don't see great offspring? Why are they what's going on, Rich? Why are these great dogs being bred so much, but we don't have any offspring? Nobody can answer that question. The reason why they can't answer that question is because this shit's a mirage, and that's when shit gets real. It's always been a pyramid scheme to make you forget about everything with the enticement of money. Oh, I make this much money off my dog. I make that much money off my dog. So it's got to be right. But yet and still, they can't show you a legacy of what they produce. Yeah, you say the dog sold for $1 million, but no one can hardly even name one dog off of Mr. Beans. I literally had Mr. Beans fans the other day that could not name me one dog, one nice top-notch dog off of Mr. Beans. They couldn't do it. You know, Rocco's not lighting the world up and making a bunch of great dogs, especially not great conformation dogs. The King Tail was supposed to disqualify you, but it never did, man. But I just wanted to jump on here and holler at y'all for a minute. I'm not gonna stay all day. I'll be back tonight and hopefully with some guests. Maybe we get Danny and everybody to jump on. Get Andrea on there if she got her hair done. Women won't come on at nighttime if they ain't all the way together. They're like, I'm in my Garfield nightgown. I ain't playing this shit. But I mean, we have to. Yeah, they where the offspring at? Y'all asked the question. Magoo. Magoo is supposed to be the original that started this thing. $600,000 dog. Denzel's grand. Oh, I said 600. I said maybe I spoke too much. We didn't want to talk about the cut that somebody else got out of it. It's 500,000. We won't talk about that bonus deal, but but where's all the great offspring? Where they hiding them at? Y'all are a part of a pyramid scheme. Y'all bragging about the money and why they sell so much, and y'all ain't selling shit. Y'all don't have shit to show for it. At the end of the day, Bashar gets to buy his Lamborghinis and find houses and do whatever he wants to do off of y'all diamond. Y'all get left with shit. A bunch of train wreck dogs that probably won't live past 2 years old. I've asked y'all, when you spend money this way, and when you brag about how much money that you making off of a shit quality dog, you know what I mean? How much all of you people who spent and y'all fight me about the health of a dog, how much money are y'all making? What's going on, Jesus? Because the way I see it is that nobody has any popular dogs off of Bashar stock, off of those muscle tone dogs. Who else has popular dogs off of muscle tones dogs besides Dave Wilson? Dave Wilson brought y'all Demon Boy. Where's all the great Demon Boy? I thought he was coming to change and show people how the dogs were supposed to be bred. Where have all the great Demon Boy uh, prospects at? Where are all these dogs at? This is reality. Sometimes we can paint a picture, and I understand y'all get mad at me because the picture ain't always pretty. But hey, I can't pretty up ugly shit. These dogs have been put to a point that we almost at a point of no return if we don't fix this shit. The health of our dogs and the respect of our dogs worldwide is at an all-time low. Dogs are dying routinely at under 2 years old. The health issues uh, are elevating, even in veterinary circles, and y'all do some research. When the national veterinary societies are talking about our dogs and using our dogs as an example of irresponsible breeding and reasons as to why these breeds should be eliminated and there should be sanctions and different laws about breeding, when they're using us as an example to push at what almost is a political agenda, y'all don't think it's something that needs to be changed? When they are putting up pictures of dogs that are deformed from our community as examples of why we are shit breeders and why we shouldn't be allowed to have dogs, y'all don't think it's something that needs to change? This is real shit, man. And yes, before I go, I will say this: when we created the ABKC, the ABKC was supposed to take money and get lawyers to fight BSL. We were supposed to do all these wonderful things. And I just want to put this on y'all brain. Today, Delta Airlines won't even allow you to have a companion pit bull or American bully to come on their planes anymore. That's right, a companion. That's right, a person who may have a serious issue is not allowed to get on their airplane with their dog, a pit bull or an American bully, because of the discrimination that these breeds seek nowadays. You know, Petco, you can't go into. PetSmart, you can't go into PetSmart no more. They kick bullies and American bully. They kick American bullies and pit bulls. You're not allowed in there anymore because the dogs are so fucked up. But at the end of the day, in our community, all we can do is brag about how much we sell them for, and we got the leading registry that does nothing for our breed. Don't even stand up as bigger and bigger companies. How much y'all bigger y'all think it's gonna get than PetSmart and Delta Airlines? Who next? United already put them on the list. These dogs is being wiped out, and in our community, all we give a fuck about is how much somebody sell a dog for, and continue to make very unhealthy, sad ass animals, and we don't stand up for nothing. You people, and I'm not talking about y'all, but those people should be ashamed of themselves. They don't care about anything. They don't care about anything. All these people who brag and talk shit about how much they sell dogs for, they have not made one phone call to Delta Airline and complain. They have not made one phone call to PetSmart and said what the fuck. They have not even put up a post, but yet and still they are collecting and living very well off of these dogs, and they don't even give a shit. Hobby breeders are sitting here struggling just to pay their dogs, yet and still we got all of the high and mighty and the $1 million, multi-million dollar ABKC, and they don't even stand up for the fucking breed. That's reality. You can pay all the fees you want. You can talk about how great this person is, how great that person is, but the reality is the reality. These so-called great studs don't have great productions, and this so-called great registry that is not acting as if it's a great registry at all. They don't stand up for the breed. They stand up for the greed, and that's the reason why people like Bashar and Khan, Kathy, I did too, and I know a lot of people have. But you know, the people who are the so-called leaders in our community, they don't do shit. ABKC hasn't stood for anything in a long time. They haven't ever even made a political statement or anything. They're too busy running around with bullies with gold chains on and sunglasses and trying to get celebrities in the videos and talking about how much they sell the dogs for and how many countries they're flying to. And at the very same time, while they brag about doing all of this, your own breed is being eliminated on your own home front, and all you've done has been a fucking leech and sucked from the community and allowed the dogs to become as terrible as possible while you profited from it. With that being said, man, time to go play with the poop dog and easy and have a good day, man. Say you got that right. Locust all day, brother. But y'all have a beautiful, beautiful Saturday. Hopefully y'all can catch y'all some sun. Not too much. Y'all don't overheat like these damn bullies. And God bless all y'all families. Do something positive. Hey man, y'all call Delta Airlines. I'm gonna get that complaint number and put that complaint number up, man. Y'all pass that around. Call